What is up, guys? It's Macabre and Co. back with another podcast. This is our second for February, and I think we got some exciting stuff for today. But before we get started with the exciting stuff, let me just say, okay, this podcast is being recorded a little bit in advance, and I have been forewarned that there's some possible subscribers, okay? So, in the likelihood of us hitting 30, I would like to say that there is an extremely good chance that I will be live streaming here on YouTube some point this week, okay? The goal, for those of you who were unaware or have been sleeping under a rock, doesn't matter to me. We hit 30 subs. I started this 2 weeks ago on the 2nd of February, and we had all the way until at noon EST on the 16th. Once we hit that, it was over. But if we hit 30 subs before then, I would live stream here on YouTube for you guys. Most of the time, it'll be Destiny 2 content. Maybe some other times we'll see, Bloodborne, some other fun games with some friends. Heck, Jazz Keyfall, who will be one of the guests with us today, brought up this wonderful idea of maybe we live stream these podcasts. And I think that is a fantastic idea. So be on the lookout for that. Now, for those of you listening to this podcast over on Spotify or anywhere where you listen to podcasts, make sure you head on over to my YouTube channel where this content is, okay? Most of my content is over on YouTube. The podcasts are on YouTube. Watch the podcasts where you please. I'm not going to make you watch them on YouTube and on Spotify or wherever else, but head on over to YouTube because I have some great stuff over there as well. Remember, new content every Tuesday, every Saturday, without exception for the most part, unless I got something crazy going on in my schedule. All right, now let's hop into the good stuff, and I will introduce my two returning guests for today. You guys should know them because they've been in several videos and on a couple podcasts now. We have Jazz Keyfall and Vedo Noble. Welcome, guys.
What's up?
Hello. Hello. Connor, I'd just like to say that your statement about living under a rock is very offensive to people like me who do live under a rock.
And Patrick Star of SpongeBob.
Yeah. He's actually my cousin.
Oh, wow.
That would not surprise me whatsoever.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. Take it however you choose. All right, boys. So, you know why you're here. I've kind of already brought you up to speed a little bit. But I think we need to talk a little bit about Destiny. And I know just this most previous one was about Destiny for the viewers out there, right? Don't worry. I think this upcoming podcast, the 1st of March, is going to be something different, non-Destiny related. I have an idea, and I have hopefully some new guests that will be on that one, okay? But we'll discuss that topic further once we get there.
Ooh, foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing indeed.
Just like in English class.
Exactly. Now, this topic for Destiny 2, I'd like to start with your guys' honest opinions. And I mean dead honest. Do not, bend the truth here. About Season 12, okay? And before you start, blabbering on about Season 12, just remember that we're going to try and cut out the Beyond Light DLC. Focus on just the seasonal content. So the Crow, Hawkmoon, Harbinger missions, and like the Wrathborn hunts. That's, stuff like that that's specifically around Season 12, not the DLC, okay? So whoever would like to start first, feel free.
If I'm being honest, I didn't really mind Season 12. Did it get kind of boring toward the end? Yes, as most would probably agree with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did I like the weapons? Oh yeah, the Wrathborn weapons are pretty good. Friction Fire, one of my favorite primary SMGs, or kinetic SMGs. My apologies. Royal Chase, good. Void Scout Rifle, don't see any of those.
Mm-hmm. And you can't forget Deafening
Whisper. And, dude, Deafening Whisper. Ooh, minty. Just like Blast Batu with chain reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, man, that is hard to I crutch that thing like some people crutch Felwyn Crucible. No offense. I used to.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Fair enough.
My
Yeah.
turn?
Go for it. Yeah. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Okay. So, there, there, there's something about Destiny every time where the interesting story is always hidden away in some lore book. But I think last season they did a good job of telling a complete story in the actual game without me having to get a PhD in the books of sorrow,
without
right?
without you having to,
Or the
physically
Inquisition of the Damned.
Exactly.
become. My name is Bife.
Exactly. See, like, I'm not a nerd. I don't spend my free time reading. Like, who does that?
I mean, I do, but.
Well, I know that, but see, this is why Connor's a nerd. But anyways, I liked the story inside the actual game. That was good. But when it comes to actual seasonal content, Garbo, like, it was just another public event
It did
for
feel
like,
like that. It honestly felt like a glorified public event. I agree 100% with that.
and that's like how many public events now we've had in a row? Like three, I think.
However, I would agree with regular Wrathborn hunts. However, the coup de grace, or the final mission to it, which I know you haven't had the luxury to partake in, but I would say that mission is an exception to the public event uh, custom that what we've truly seen for the past few seasons.
hmm And I guess I do understand what you're saying with that, and I haven't experienced it obviously, but I would rather have an interesting gameplay loop than an interesting mission
That's very fair.
that I get to play once. Well, or like I probably could play it multiple times, but that I get to experience
Mm-hmm.
once.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. But do you agree with what Vito had just said there about the weapons? Do you think those weapons were cracked, or I know the
Uh,
mission to get them could get a little tiresome at points.
well, I'm gonna be honest, my audio kind of cut out, but like friction fire, that was a nice SMG. I liked that a lot. Like
Mm-hmm.
the perk pool,
Yeah.
like that you could customize it somewhat, and they all looked very aesthetically pleasing with their little like radar things on them and stuff.
That was sick. Or that's sick, yeah.
Yeah. They are very aesthetically pleasing. I would agree.
Like, I've. Sorry to interrupt, Jaren, or Jazz. I feel like what one thing they did right, like Jaren, like Jazz said, the cryptolith lure. Like, I don't know if they were going for a Shalance of Opulence makeover, but I think they did it. I think they almost did it justice.
Mm-hmm.
Not fully, but it was close.
To kind of be able to specify which perks you want on it and everything. Yeah, I agree. They did a
Yep.
decent job at that.
hmm It was a nice mixture between like luck and paring down what you don't want.
hmm
For sure, for sure.
And plus, whatever you don't want, you could always still dismantle to shards and gunsmith materials.
Yeah, the rarest currencies in the game.
Totally.
Yeah. Now, before we move on to another topic here, I think we need to discuss probably the biggest part of season 12. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it would be Hawkmoon and the Harbinger mission tied to Hawkmoon. By far the best thing that happened in season 12, in my opinion, was the uh, D2 debut of Hawkmoon. And the fact that they kind of gave it this uniqueness of random rolls. And while each roll might not change it a whole lot, and some rolls might be a little more significant than others, but overall it's still the same gun. And it being the first exotic with different rolls was, I don't know, I felt like it was a very good choice for Bungie instead of bringing back the exact perks that the gun had in D1 that made it so broken.
What
Huh.
he's trying to say is Bungie tried to do their stonks, and I think they played the cards right, or he thinks they played the cards right.
I would
Yeah.
say 100% that they played their cards very much in a great fashion. I don't think they could have done it in a better way with this gun in particular.
Hmm.
Right. And
I'm gonna have to split from the crowd here. This crowd of two people. But um, I don't know. I think the whole random rolls thing could have been done with a different weapon because now Hawkmoon, it, I don't want to say its legacy is confused, but its legacy is confused. Know what I'm saying?
Yes.
didn't play D1, but I get it.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from with that. I agree. But at the same time, I think if they had reintroduced Hawkmoon with the perks it had in D1, I think it truly would have made Crucible completely intolerable for most of the population that plays this game. And I think
Never
Bungie.
heard of Hellwinners?
Well, but the thing is, like, so I think what makes it different, what the difference is between like a legendary and an exotic, is when someone crutches a legendary, it's like, okay, like I understand. With Fellwinters, it's like that bit of an exception. It's like when Mountaintop wasn't Sunset, and the people that still use Mountaintop,
Hmm.
it's annoying, but a lot of people have it now. Everyone has access to it, so it's not as bad. With an exotic that everyone has access to, it's like, oh, here you go. Something that's supposed to be difficult to earn is now something that's easy to earn, and with a cracked roll, like it would have been from D1 with the perk allowing it to essentially two tap randomly. I mean, you would have seen everyone using that gun and nothing else. I don't think we would have seen a 120 meta. I don't think we would have seen literally any other primaries except for Hawkmoon and then people trying to do bounties. I think that would have been it.
Hmm.
But I do
And
understand messing with its legacy and everything.
well, and that kind of brings up another point. Like, was it like necessary for it to get brought into D2? You know?
Mm-hmm.
I understand it was the last of the holy trinity of D1 to be brought forwards. But like I don't know. I feel like shooting Hawk Moon in D2 feels very good. Don't get me wrong, it's a fun gun to use. But at the same time, like there was something magical about shooting and just two tapping or a very slim chance of one tapping somebody way back when
Mm-hmm.
with Hawk Moon.
So, so I'm gonna stop you right there because I think this ties into something that I want to talk about as well, and it's going to be a little bit more of a broad topic here, and that is overall what Bungie's calling the Destiny Content Vault. Okay, this is a collection of D2 and D1 weapons, armor sets, locations, everything from the two games sitting behind the screen that some of it we don't have access to, some of it we have access to. And Hawkmoon is very much part of this vault because it was brought from D1 and is now in D2. Some other weapons this season, in season 13, that we have seen brought back would be like Shadow Price or Palindrome, the Swarm. Additionally,
Messenger.
yeah, the Messenger and Trials, like some of these weapons that we loved and used so much in D1 are now making D2 debuts, and becoming somewhat prevalent in this new game. So real quick before I give my honest opinion about the Destiny content vault, I want to know what your guys' is. Do you guys think it's a good thing for the game? Do you think it's a bad thing? A mixture of both? Just let me know what your guys' opinion is.
I can't say much. I didn't play D1. At least about
Okay.
the returning weapons.
Hmm. But
Though I
I
will say this, I do want the weapons. I'll give them that.
I
that was gonna be
if
my
it's
question.
like guns, I need them.
Yeah, even like our new light players out there, I'm sure we have some watching the podcast or listening to the podcast, watching whatever, right? That are purely interested in some of the weaponry that we had in D1. I mean, there are so many times where I jump in a raid group and we start talking about weapons and they're like, "Oh, if only they would bring this back from D1." And everyone's like, "Oh, dude, yeah." And then there's like the two kids in there that haven't played D1 and they're like, "What's that?"
Veto.
Yeah, yeah, quite frequently when I raid with Veto, that Veto is is that person. But it is interesting to get the side of someone who hasn't played D1. Still, yeah, like I'd like to see some of these new guns. So Jazz, you were gonna say something. Sorry, I kind of interrupted you there.
I I think the content vault is a nice middle ground between like having to start over on a new game every few years and having D2 get too big, right?
Mhm.
Well, the spot where I think that it's a problem, at least currently, is think about like how big D2 was before Beyond Light, right? And like all the different things you could do.
Yeah.
And like half at least of that game was taken out and we got like a quarter of it back. So we lost content overall. And I think that'll get better as time goes on, obviously.
Mhm.
But I just don't see the need to take away all of that stuff at once. And that's kind of just a problem I have. I know a lot of people are fine with the way the game is now, but
Mhm.
I think that the the knife came down a little bit too heavy.
I can understand where you're coming from. I mean, I think the most noticeable difference in content pre Beyond Light and post Beyond Light is the cutting of strikes. Like our strike
Hmm.
playlist went from so many strikes. It was like, oh, which one are we gonna get to like what is it, 6? I think is what was left or something like that. 7.
12.
Something.
Oh, it was
12.
12. Okay, so a lot
Yeah.
higher than I had originally thought.
I
But
can name
it's
all of them if you want me to.
go for it.
Speed run.
Okay. Lake of Shadows, Arms Dealer. Wait, do you want me to include the new ones as well? Like from last season?
uh, you from this current season, season 13.
Yeah. Or, well, the ones that came in, like the two new
With
ones
Beyond
last
Light.
season.
Not the
Yeah.
two. Yeah, yeah, yes,
So include them?
yes.
Okay. Glassway, Disgraced,
Hmm.
Broodhold, Hallowed Lair, Arms Dealer, Lake of Shadows. Inverted Spire, Insight Terminus, Exodus Crash. Did I say Broodhold already?
I don't think
I
so.
don't. I don't know.
Okay, Broodhold, Warden of Nothing, Scarlet Keep.
I think that's all
I
of
think
them.
that's. I think.
Eh,
Yeah.
Oh man, everyone, give a round of applause here to Vito Noble. Those of you
I played this
watching
game way
this,
too much.
in the comments down below, let me know if you could recite all of the current active strikes. I know we have the addition of 3 new ones in season 13, but ignoring those, I don't think I could
See,
do what Vito just did.
well, yeah, and you might think he used Google, but no, he wrote the article on that. Like he
I've read.
wrote the Forbes article. It was like,
I. I read
move
the
over,
Inquisition.
Paul Tassi,
I
move
read the
over.
Inquisition of the Damned. I've read Books of Sorrow.
Exactly.
I've
See, Everett's
seen
a nerd too.
Taniks.
I'm
I've
surrounded.
s- I've seen Taniks. I've seen Crota, Gaul.
Now, for those of you
Yeah.
who are worried for Vito's sanity, don't worry, it gets better. We'll go on a quick side tangent here. Now, me and Vedo do raids quite frequently. Usually every week we run Deepstone Crypt, typically on all three characters. Sometimes together, sometimes with different groups. It kind of depends on our schedules. And this man, every week, almost without exception, there are very few times where once we hit the space scene, the jumping puzzle, this man recites what Clovis Bray is saying before Clovis Bray says it. And then part of it, I think, I would have to say, is the amount of times we've done it. I think that contributes. But the other part is you should be questioning
Artificial
his
intelligence activated. Enjoying yourselves, intruders? It's worth knowing the cataclysmic damage you will be responsible for today. That's all I've memorized for the space.
As I was saying. All right, now
one of these days. Sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
One of these days, Everett's gonna fall asleep at the mic, and he's just gonna be talking to himself in his sleep, and that's what he's gonna say.
Just like that one guy who fell asleep when we were doing the raid.
Dude, that was so funny.
It was, and it was. Some of you guys have not. Most of you guys have actually seen the footage. In one of my videos, where it is background gameplay of us in the final boss room of the Deepstone Crypt. You will not notice, matter of fact, because I have it clipped out. But before the beginning of the clip, we were sitting discussing what roles we were going to be taking. Vedo, who needed to upgrade, what was it, Lunafactions or something?
Yeah, Lunafactions.
Wanted to put an upgrade module into his Lunafactions because it dropped his light a little low. And we're like, yeah, go ahead, run to the tower, pick up an upgrade module. Everyone in the group was fine with it, no worries. We're sitting
2-minute trip.
Maybe a 2-minute trip. I mean, he leaves the fire team, goes to pick it up, and comes right back. No, shenanigans, right? And by the time he gets back, we're hearing this noise in the background of someone's mic. We don't know whose it is, because we're kind of talking over it. But it sounds faintly like snoring. We're very confused, okay? We don't know why this man or who is asleep, or if they're just messing around, can we move on? This is boring. And so we do the obvious thing, all right, is everyone ready? Vedo joins back up with us. We plan a rally banner, everyone goes to their positions, and there's one person up by the rally banner who's not moving. He's not in his inventory. He's not checking bounties or anything like that. He's just not moving. And we start asking around to Mike, all right, are you ready? And calling out specific names. Everyone responds with, yeah, I'm ready.
This boy slump.
Yeah, then we get to this man, and we ask, are you ready? And we get greeted with a rather loud snore. So, of course, we all think he's still messing around, so we start it up anyways, to find that he's not messing around. This man genuinely fell asleep on the mic. And for those of you who don't know, on PS4, with the new update, you're not actually allowed to kick people from your PS4 party. So, what we had to do was mute this man. LFG, someone brand new, come in.
Oh, I never muted him. I listened to the ASMR.
Some of us muted, some of us listened, and we did the final encounter with a man in the PS4 party that was fast asleep. We finished the raid, okay? Some people leave, but the rest of us that were still there wanted to know if we could wake this man up and be like, dude, you fell asleep and you missed out on the final boss encounter.
We tried yelling so loud.
Yeah, several of our teammates were very, very loud on the mic, as many would call it ear rape, and were unsuccessful at waking this man up. So, if you watch those clips on some previous videos and you're like, man, this is some solid Deepstone Crypt boss phase, nothing unusual about that. Now you know the story of why that's clipped, because the audio running in it is a man snoring while we try and do the Deepstone Crypt final boss encounter. Quite entertaining, if I do say so myself.
That guy never responded to my message the next day. I told him he fell asleep at the final boss.
I forgot you actually messaged him.
I was like, hey, yo, you good? And he was like, radio silent. Oh,
All right,
Tough times.
getting back on track here. Talking about the Destiny content vault. Okay, I'll give my opinion, and then Jazz, I'll let you give your opinion. Okay. I think it's a good thing for the game. Oh wait, you kind of already gave your opinion, didn't you?
yeah, but I like talking, so.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, we
I'm
know.
kidding. Wow.
I'm kidding as well. Okay. Um, did you? So I'm assuming we probably interrupted you. Was there anything else you would like to discuss in regards to the Destiny content vault?
Not well. I think legendary weapons coming back is a good thing. I don't know if every exotic from D1 needs to be brought back because I don't know about you, but I don't really miss Dreg's Promise all that much.
What are you talking
You
about?
know,
That gun needs to be in Destiny 2, otherwise Destiny 2 is going to die within 2 weeks. I'm telling you, okay?
well, it's basically Trespasser but worse. So it's like if Vestian Dynasty and Trespasser had a baby, and that baby like forgot to go to school for the first 3 years of its life.
Well, that baby wouldn't actively choose to go to school. Its parents would make it, but okay.
Maybe not you, but I'm on this grind, okay?
Been on this grind since day one.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I think there are a lot of exotic weapons in D1 that should not make Destiny 2 appearances. Dreg's Promise is a solid example of this. There are several snipers from Destiny 1 that I don't want to see. Several machine guns from Destiny 1 that I don't want to see.
Super good advice.
Which now supposedly there is either that coming back or a new or another legendary from like VOG or something. I'm not exactly sure, but it's supposed to be exotic, so we'll see. I don't know.
Oh
It's all
no.
speculation right now, so I'm not gonna go too far into that.
This boy
People
just had
data
mulligan,
mining.
but insane mulligan.
Can I say something real quick about the Destiny content vault?
Go for it.
You're not
Stage
allowed
is
to
yours.
talk, Everett.
Oh,
Stage is yours, mate.
okay. I can't say much. I wasn't a D1 player. I joined in March 2020 on Destiny 2 in Season of the Worthy.
Has it in his calendar.
Here we go. I miss all of the Leviathan.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I never did Spire Stars or Crown of Sorrow. I wanted to do Crown of Sorrow, but never got around to it. Rest in peace, Galron's right hand. I wanted one of those. But anyway. Yeah, and Teraba. Though that's possible to get.
Yeah, that you can get that still.
But from
Yeah,
what I've heard, it's pretty terrible.
Wow.
We did just set him up for that.
Yeah, I think we did.
We walked right into it. We both knew that was coming.
Yeah. We both, yeah. Yeah.
No, I agree. Matter of fact, that's something that I think both you and Jazz were trying to get at earlier. Jazz was trying to get at earlier is with taking all this content away, as he said, like dropping the knife too early or whatever, or cutting too much, whatever. They took away not only all the Leviathan raids, but they also took away Scourge of the Past. And I don't quite understand why. I know they were adding a new raid, but we had...
Oh, never mind.
What were you going to say?
Never mind. I thought they took out one more, but I was wrong.
I mean, before that, we had Leviathan and Crown of Sorrow were technically full raids, right? Quote unquote. And Scourge was a full raid. So 3 full raids and then 2 raid layers. So close to like, I don't know, adding
4 raids.
Yeah, adding Spire and oh shoot, I can't think of what the other one's called.
Eater of Worlds together.
yeah, you get like a full raid almost. Taking 4 raids away and only adding one just seems a little unreasonable, and I would agree with that 100%. I think they could have kept Scourge in, allowing people to get anarchy from the raid instead of working towards it, And then they could have worked towards Teraba instead, because that would have been a different weapon that everyone was like, hey, I don't have this because my luck inside
Especially
of raids just isn't good.
especially since Scourge is on Earth and Earth is still there.
And Earth didn't go
And
anywhere.
farm, you know, what's it called? Uh, 0 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Which now we know why they did, because of Hawkmoon and that being added. They wanted to take that one out, and additionally, they didn't want to leave. They didn't want to leave those two in because there's good chance that this new Tex Mechanica scout rifle that is coming this season, everyone's saying that's going to have some sort of mission related to it, similar how Hawkmoon was just this past season. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of this, some of this stuff is speculation. It's what people have data mined. It's what they're assuming is going to happen based on some previous intelligence or lore, whatever it may be. This is how they think it's going to go down. So a lot of people are saying that's why both Outbreak and Whisper were removed, because they wanted to make room for Hawkmoon and this new Tex Mechanica scout rifle.
Whisper the worm? You mean the mission called Quiet Voice of the Wiggly Creature? Huh.
Oh gosh.
Quiet voice of the sentient noodle.
But I think overall the content vault I think was it's a solid choice, and here's why I say this. I think Destiny 1, specifically the first like 2.5, 3 years of Destiny 1, were some of the best Destiny gameplay experiences most of us have had. And I know nostalgia's gonna judge or cloud our judgment here a little bit, specifically me and Jazz. But I think by allowing them to pull from all these previous years of quality content, it gives them an easier time and allows them to be a lot faster at making new content. And I don't care if it's reissued content so much, okay? Like when people get mad that guns are being reissued, it makes me mad that they're mad in the first place. I don't know why. It's just like, bro, chill out. Like no one cares that you're pissed that they're bringing back this specific hand cannon. Like for this season, Waking Vigil's back. Everyone on PC's freaking out. And you know how many people are actually using the gun? Close to none. Even though it can roll with, like the other day, me and Vedo ran the dungeon, right? I got a roll with Killing Wind, Kill Clip. It's a 140 still though, so it doesn't matter right now at all. And it's just funny because people got so mad about it coming back, about it being reissued, and
It's
yet,
it's just like people in Fortnite, not my OG.
mm-hmm, exactly. No, I think it's a very similar issue, and I think it's
Not
something
my
that,
OG Waking Vigil.
and
Uh,
I think it's something that we're going to start to see a lot more of because of this vault. But I think it is going to allow them to send more content out at a faster rate, and I think that's good for the game overall. I do agree
Yeah.
though that they need to tone it down on some of these exotics coming from D1. Start making some more new ones, because I don't know about you guys, but some of these more recent seasonal exotics have been fantastic. Like I love them. Like Wither Horde. I mean, even Tommy's
Wither Horde,
Matchbook.
yeah.
The bow for this season is very, very unique. If we're truly getting a new Tex Mechanica Scout rifle,
it's,
I
if I'm being
thought
honest,
duality was a bit weak though.
Duality was a bit weak at launch. It's been buffed 2 or 3 times since though.
Well,
So
no, I don't mean like strength
weak
wise.
in
I
the
mean
sense of power.
conceptually.
oh, that's true.
Like I mean it it's not that cool of a gimmick in my
In
like coming
in my
off of
judge,
Wither Horde too.
Yeah, that's fair.
in my judgment, Tiku's divination is just a solar Trinity goal, but with a lot more aimbot and it's solar.
Mhm.
Aim assist, not aimbot. I'm
Yep.
sorry. No offense to the cheaters out there.
I was
We
gonna
all
say
get it.
you just
You like
offended.
your little hacks.
You know what I'd like to see back in D2?
Yeah.
Not that it would really have any purpose anymore.
Hmm.
Zalo Supercell. Hmm.
That's Risk Runner.
Okay, but it is
Gluteus Maximus.
it's
Oh,
You're
like
not
Risk
wrong.
Runner, but longer.
Hmm. I mean, it would have more range,
Long.
some more practicality in that sense, for sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it'd be. I think it'd be weird to bring that gun back, especially if it's brought back pretty much as how it was in D1. I don't know.
See, that's an exotic that you could rework and not have people be mad about it.
Oh, 100%. And I think there's plenty of opportunities like that from D1 that Bungie should be utilizing.
Mhm. It's like I don't know. You could build up like static charge or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that gives you like extra damage on chains or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, hey, throwing ideas out there.
well, yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think there's plenty of opportunities for them to bring back a bunch of different guns, exotics, legendaries, all the sort. And some of them I think they're going to have to rework quite severely in order to fit them into D2, such as Zalos. I don't think it could come back pretty much at all how it was in D1 without having some serious changes. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe they do bring it back just how it is and change a few things here and there and tweak it just the tiniest bit, and everyone's gonna love it. I couldn't tell you,
yeah.
but
Well, I'm a Bungie dev, so I should know this.
Turn
And
it into a
Macabre
melee
can tell.
weapon.
And Macabre can tell you about this too, because I can call a lot of Gambit race in
we will
the
end
game.
on that here in a second. Before we go into why Vedo is a Bungie dev, and no, he's not a legitimate Bungie dev. Don't worry.
Figurative.
For 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 legal reasons.
For the legal reasons, yes. I want to give you guys each like 30-ish seconds to kind of wrap up your thoughts on what do you hope is going to change or they're going to stay on track with, or just something you're excited for in general for the near future of Destiny 2. And I want you to focus on something that's not the Witch Queen coming in this next DLC, okay? It's something else. And if it is Vogue, that's okay. But if you have something else, that would be better. We'll start with you, Jazz.
So this kind of relates back to my like earlier point, but I'd just like to see more variety in the stuff we do that stays with us for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know the seasonal things are staying around for like a year now, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. Everything
So
from this past season will be here all the way until this next expansion.
so yeah, like as time goes on, you're gonna get more seasonal stuff, right? And it's gonna kind of become a cycle
Mm-hmm.
where you'll have a lot of stuff to do. But if you have just one, because like I know I'm kind of going over time, but after you finish Beyond Light, like getting your stasis stuff,
Mm-hmm.
there's raids and Crucible and Strikes, and that's pretty much it in the game so far.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to see a bit more.
Just wait till you get back from the university.
Well, but then I always have a ton of stuff to do.
Yes, you will
And I might
have.
not even be able to play for long, too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll grind it once you get back. Uh,
Hmm.
all right. Thank you for your final conclusion there. Vito, what is yours?
The lore. Lore has been amazing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, introducing Crow, him becoming friends with Osiris, somehow both of them being exiled, in a way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And them trying to just get out of it. And Crow trying to make a living in the city.
Yeah. No,
And
I agree. They've done a
Callus's daughter, Keitel,
yeah,
being the antagonist.
yeah, they've done a great job with
And
the
how
storytelling.
Savathun and Keitel could, I don't know, team up. don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Just we'll see where it goes.
You're excited for
Good
that
job,
next
Bungie.
step in the story.
10 out of 10 lore for Beyond Light. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have to say that's definitely one of the positives, for sure. Me personally, I think what I'm most excited for is just the ability to continue to play this game because while I have had plenty of times where I have stopped playing this game for long periods of time, I think I'm at a point now where I've come to realize the reason I've stopped playing this game over and over and over in previous years is because I truly run myself out of the game. And requiring myself to, sit down and do some other stuff every once in a while is okay. I don't need to be playing Destiny all the time. So that's really, really nice. And I think that's shown me that, hey, this game isn't something you can play every day, 24/7, every month of the year.
oops. Oops.
Aren't you trying to make a channel out of this, bro?
Well,
Like,
I am, and I would like to say that I still fully believe I can be a quality content creator playing this game a decent amount, but yet, sit down and play some other games. Like recently, I've been playing a lot of Bloodborne. I think I've started one of the newer Pokemon games because why not? And a few other games here and there, streaming with some friends. And overall, I think by doing some of these other things, it's allowed me to enjoy and appreciate Destiny that much more.
that's it. You heard it here first. Among Us Fridays. Every Friday.
I would,
Live on Twitch.
I would not, probably not on Twitch here on YouTube. Maybe I would love to do some Among Us content if you guys would be interested in it. With that, before we end, I think we should go into a little bit about why we call Vedo the Bungie dev. For those of you who don't know, Vedo is a Gambit god, okay? And I don't think there's any better way of putting that. And here's why. First of all, he knows every map name and its location by heart. And I don't think I could tell you pretty much any of them, okay? Second of all,
There's only 3.
I still probably could not say any of them.
Yeah, Gambit kind of got the axe too.
Very much so. Second of all, this man knows just about everything, like location wise, in each of the maps, very, very fluidly. Okay, like every little corner and crack that people can hide in. So if he's invading, you better watch out. If you're invading us, 9 out of 10 times he knows exactly where you're spawning in, and that's pretty scary, not gonna lie. But then additionally, and honestly the most important reason why we call Vito the Bungie dev is because this man at the start of every match, before the Drifter tells us, purely by knowing the map and the enemies that can be on said map, will tell us what enemies we're fighting before the Drifter says. And most of the time, this man is correct. And when he's incorrect, the reasons could
The
be
Drifter
such.
says I'm sorry and changes it.
Pretty much, honestly, that would not shock me if that happened.
Because Eris makes them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Everett is very good friends with Eris, personally.
so there you guys go. A little bit of inside take from or about Vito Noble. This man is the Bungie dev in Gambit terms and Gambit terms only. But just some news for y'all. With that, I would like to thank both Jazz Keefall and Vito Noble for sticking around here for this 45-ish minutes. It was a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. And I hope that you guys will be back in some future podcasts. Probably not this next one,
Heck yeah, I did.
but down the road, you definitely know you guys will be back, okay? You
Doing
be
strikes
invited.
while podcasting with the boys is amazing.
Podcasting with the boys. Yeah, yeah. It's great.
Remember to subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Don't worry, guys. There will not be a link in the description for that one.
It'll be in the comments.
But there will be a link in the description for Is Macabre Spotify, where you can find this podcast.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on YouTube, check it out down below. There's a Spotify link. There's a Discord link. I think there's the link to some outro music if you're interested. All three of those will be there. And if you're listening to this over on Spotify, well, check it out because there is a link to my YouTube channel. So go check me out there. Like I
Dude,
said, that's where most
that's
of my content is.
that's like Inception. Oh my god.
I know, right? Crazy. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you've made it through all of this, I'm impressed. Not gonna lie. I don't know if I could sit down and listen to us talk. I
You should
may,
see what I can do in seminar.
maybe maybe you guys can, and if so, I very much appreciate it. Like, subscribe, comment down below, turn that bell notification on. New content every Tuesday and Thursday. 2 podcasts each month, the 1st and the 15th. And with that, it's going to come to a close here. So get back to grinding, you crazy guardians.